fireworks coming up on our show. Hey! California color, sunshine girl here for you. You know, California got some chocolate blowing in the river. Everything is all about blonde and blue eyes, baby. It's all about the deep dark, sweet, luscious chocolate, hip-hop chocolate, California. Woo! California. Woo! California. Woo! Well, hello, family. Good morning. To the hip, to the hop, to the hip. Today, we are going to continue our series of Blackface on Blackface, where we talk about President Obama and his deception of how their agenda is really not helping the American people. My name is Shirley Hussar, H-U-S-A-R, and you are watching HipHopRepublican.tv. HipHopRepublican.tv and HipHopRepublican.com is an urban-based, community-involved, engaged group of bloggers, online, interactive Republicans from all aspects, from African-American to Armenian to Japanese to Chinese to every culture that you can think of. Unfortunately, the establishment, even within our own party, have not given us the recognition and identification that we are seeking. And that's where you come in and you help us keep it real, keep it going, keep it broad, and thinking way outside of the box. HipHopRepublican.com was created in 2004. So when you have a chance, make sure you go to HipHopRepublican.com, see some of our bloggers, some of our writers, Akindele. We also have our man, Lenny McAllister. A lot of good things are going on with Lenny. Check him out. And my good friend Joseph Phillips. Those might remember Joseph Phillips from the Cosby days. So when you have a chance, there are a lot of Republicans who are out there who are voicing their opinion about how the community is changing and working against or for your best interests. All right, so let's get right into it. Blackface on Blackface. Boy, we've been having a lot of black stuff going on this week with the NAACP, with the city of Bell, and their abilities to be a chartered city. And we've also going to talk about that oil spill continues to be capped, but it has the pressure that needs to be released. So I guess we should start off.
That sounds like something else.
Pressure that needs to be released.
Release that pressure.
Release that pressure. Okay, keep it nice and smooth and silky and oily. All right, let's go into a political brother with the NAACP. What's going on with them and the Tea Party? Is the tea a little bit too chocolate, a little bit too dark, too much black tea in the water this week? What's going on with that?
Well, there's been a lot going on with that, Shirley. There's been a lot going on with that. And let me take this moment once again to remind you that I am your resident leftist radical. In fact, I refer to myself as a fiscally conservative liberal.
Oh, now you're a fiscal conservative liberal. You didn't say that before.
I thought of it. I thought of using it more.
Are you transforming? It's a
no,
slow
this is still I'm still radical
leftist. It is
leftist.
happening. It's just a slow.
But I am neither hip hop nor Republican.
Okay.
So continue to write Shirley, because Shirley, you have been getting some interesting mail, by the way.
I know.
These crazy folks, and maybe if I get a chance, we might respond to some of them a little bit, because some of them got a little bit too far out of line to me, but they sure were funny. But like you said, Shirley, it's been a week of craziness and a week where we've been hearing more of the term NAACP than we've heard in years, as they really got into an offensive sort of public argument, attack back and forth between the so-called Tea Parties. Now, Shirley, I know you've been quick to deal with the Tea Party phenomena, to also point out that it's not all racist, that there's an agenda to that, even though there are people within the groups. And so this is an example of that same issue that you were dealing with. And remember, our viewers are on both sides of this. This is at least an example of them coming to a head. So let me try to summarize it for you. What happened was, as many of you heard, the NAACP had actually made some accusations of racism within the Tea Party movement. This is a pretty public thing. Started about, 2 weeks ago, right?
Right.
And then you even had people from the Tea...
Now, why are they so late? We've been talking about it for how many months? The crazy signs, the monkeys, the elephants, or whatever. And then now all of a sudden they just kind of caught on board, right?
Well, that's... Certainly, what Shirley's saying, that's the question, Shirley. The question is how they responded politically to all these things. This is an example of politics in motion, and we're still trying to understand it ourselves. But as it turns out, there had already been this backdrop of friction between the NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Colored people. I'm wearing color today. I'm a color.
National Association for the. Now remember, there was a time and a place for everything. I was a proud member of this organization when I was a teenager.
Really?
Proud member because again during
That was
the
in
civil
the
rights
1800s,
movement.
right?
Well, civil rights movement, damn near. I know we were rowing boats and cutting firewood. But I'm saying the NAACP, there's a question because some people call it an old organization, like you just said.
Right.
Shirley just said, right?
They're not current. They're extinct. They're not current. If they were current, they would have more young people. These organizations that continue to act like they're the hot hip thing, they're not working on their generation currently at this time to keep them informed. But they're good at just raising hell and doing what they're doing.
Well, times change because when you're an organization for dealing with civil rights issues, there's a difference in 1960 and 2010. Right. And I think that's part of the issue.
And
how about the Urban League?
Still needed today.
Well, it is, but think about the role of the Urban League.
Okay.
Same thing, right?
That's a good point.
So here we got NAACP getting involved with. Some people say they did it because they wanted to be noticed. Some people said that the NAACP came out because they wanted to have a voice too.
They did want to have a voice. They did because think about when have we been talking about NAACP? Nobody's talking about NAACP. Nobody. They think NAACP could be Negroes playing basketball. Nobody has been talking about them. I'm sorry, they haven't. So here's an opportunity for them to seize their name, put it back out in the media. By the way, which here on HipHopRepublican.tv, we've been talking about Black Tea Party and the Tea Party for a long time on their abilities of not dealing with the racial issue. We've been talking about that for months. Now all of a sudden, NAACP, probably ACLU is going to jump in.
Well, the way it gets bad, Shirley, this may be one where here you have the Hip Hop Republican and your left is kind of agreeing. Both groups seem to really have dropped the ball on this because we're just setting the backdrop. That's just the backdrop before the problem. So already you have this war going on, right, in the press. The Tea Party then calls the NAACP a racist organization. Saying that because of even their name, okay, and I quote. Let me just give you examples.
That tells you how ignorant they are. They don't even know. Go ahead.
Well, this now remember, this is not all Tea Parties, but give you an example. Mark Williams was a Tea Party leader who wrote in a big. Now again, leader. Who says you're a leader? But anyway, very popular.
He was
a leader. Wrote a blog post and he called the NAACP racist. And he said that they tolerate racist elements within them. And then he wrote an imaginary letter to President Lincoln and accused NAACP of being racist for using the word colors in his name.
Imaginary letters. Now tell him whose name is again.
This is Mark Williams.
Mark Williams.
He had a very popular
advocate for the Tea Party. He's a leader. Writes imaginary letters.
He has the Tea Party Express.
Did he spell them correctly? He put nigger or nigga.
Well, he said some inflammatory things, Shirley. But remember, it was Shirley. Here's the trick, and I'm gonna keep saying it. We're still just setting up the controversy.
We haven't gotten to the heart of the matter, but go on, keep rolling.
But I do have a video that'll summarize. I found it just a minute. All right. So Shirley, so he said all those things, and because he said all those things, everybody lined up, to say that they weren't part of that. Okay, so remember, a lot of people, both Republican and Democrat, came out against him.
Right.
Meanwhile,
because they said they don't write imaginary letters. They want to let you know we got a little normalcy here.
Right.
He's writing imaginary letters. Let me put my letter out.
Exactly.
I don't know the man. Never know the fool. Never connected with the fool.
Okay.
Because I don't write imaginary letters.
Then it came an incident that another very popular blogger showed a video clip of Shirley Sherrod, who at that time was the Georgia Director of Rural Development.
Right, Shirley Sherrod.
Okay,
First
and
name
supposedly
good, last name don't know.
Yeah, very edited piece that made it look like she was saying all these racist statements. Okay, now very edited piece.